Come on. Do I sound like I'm joking? Do I sound like I'm playing? When you look into my eyes, you understand what I'm saying? Let me say it to you slowly, and it may sound scandalous. I don't think that you can handle this.
Final game of Week 12 will be on Monday Night Football. The Baltimore Ravens at 7-4 will head to Los Angeles to face the Chargers, who are 7-3. The Ravens are 3-point favorites. The projected total here is 50.5 points. Sounds very familiar. It was exactly what it was Sunday night, which means that the scores will be the same. Ravens 26 3/4, Chargers 23 3/4. Mike Steph, what do you think about this game? This is a matchup of two teams that look like they may be contenders, but if they lose this game, would we consider them pretenders?
Well, the Ravens are fresh off a hard loss against their rival Steelers. They need to regroup, yet right now they face an even greater challenge in the Jim Harbaugh-led Los Angeles Chargers. 7-4 on face value seems great, especially in the inferior conference of the AFC. But for the Ravens, it's not really acceptable, is it? I wouldn't say they've peaked already, but they've definitely hit a lull, in my opinion. They lost against the aforementioned Browns, rebounded against the overmatched Broncos team at that time, and then barely held off the Bengals and finally succumbed to the Steelers. Then that's their last 4 games. Derrick Henry has leveled off as well. I mean, remember a couple weeks ago, I think within 8 games, he had 1,000 yards. I think he's only up to like 1,150. But I believe that is due to the lack of usage rather than the lack of effectiveness. While per carry is still similar, the focus has gone from pounding the rock to relying on the passing attack more. And with the slippage on the defensive side, I reckon that should be rectified soon, or they will be left behind. I think it would be a blow to their collective psyche if, as well as they played for a long stretch of this season, for them to get to Week 12 and look at their record and be 7-5. Now, coming to the Chargers, you can say they're the Baltimore Ravens West. It's a battle of brothers. The blueprint to the Chargers' resurgence is directly correlated to the mindset of these two siblings. Although I would say that Jim seems a little bit more organized and detail-oriented. Also, it seems like he gets more out of less talented players than John. I am definitely taking a different tack this week on my analysts. Part of that is due to us coming to a time in the schedule in which a lot of these games involve the same team, so there's only so many stats that I can throw at you without sounding redundant. Like, who would have thought before this season that we'd be talking about Ladd McConkey and Will Dissly being integral parts of a playoff team, a potential championship contender? Now, while they almost coughed up the lead against the Bengals last Sunday, they maintained their composure and closed it out in the final minutes, courtesy of former Baltimore running back J.K. Dobbins. Now, here's an interesting stat. Do you know that Justin Herbert led the team in rushing this past week with 65 yards? You would think that, with Gus Edwards and Dobbins, that would not be the case, but that just shows you that this team finds ways to win, and find ways to win they will do once again. So, Baltimore -3, Chargers +3. That over under, I'm going under, because actually I said last week, the Chargers have, I believe, the number 1 scoring defense. Yes, they gave up 27 points against the Bengals, but guess what? The Ravens gave up 34 points against the Bengals last week. And even with that, they're only averaging like 14 points a game given up. So that 50.5, nah, under. Chargers +3.
Yo, what's up? I'm Desmond, and I'm the host of Hip to the Games, a podcast from 19 Media Group, where the brilliance of basketball and hip-hop's past and present is genuinely appreciated. Join me every other Friday as we celebrate some of the greatest artists, albums, moments, songs, bars, punchlines, NBA teams, players, just anything and everything to do with the game of rap and the game of basketball. See, if you like basketball and hip-hop, that means you're hip to the games. But no matter where you fall on that spectrum, I encourage you to join the fun every other Friday on your favorite podcast platform, courtesy of the great 19 Media Group.
All right, so first I'm going to look at the Chargers. The Chargers won 5 of their last 6. obviously a big win against the Bengals last week. As you mentioned, I'm glad you mentioned it, that we're kind of talking about the same teams. They seem like they're just switching matchups and putting the same teams on primetime. And last week I talked about the Chargers, and I was questioning their recent wins. I was questioning the talent of the teams they had been winning against. And then I asked if the Bengals are a good team or not. And I led to the idea that they probably are. The Chargers then beat them. But you know what? The Bengals losing again, and particularly how they lost, that they got blown out in the beginning. Then all of a sudden it seemed like they learned how to play correctly. And then Burrow, after being marvelous for that short stretch, threw like an interception that really made no sense. He threw it right into double coverage. And that basically stopped their momentum. The Chargers know how to win, but I still am not convinced that they will beat a good team. Meanwhile, the Ravens are looking shaky. They are 3-2 in their last 5. They're only 3-3 on the road, but they're still 7-2 in their last 9. Interesting note that will matter to my over-under here. Baltimore is 0-4 when they've scored 24 points or less. They have to score more than 24 points to get a win. But I think Baltimore is just the more talented team, and I think it will show up here. The Bengals did light them up for that short stretch, the Chargers for that short stretch. I think that gives the Ravens opportunity to do the same. I like the Ravens. I like the -3, and I definitely like the over.
Normally I don't do this, but I'm going to push back a little bit because the reason I say this, because all right, if you're going to compare the two teams, or whether, all right, the Bengals was able to move the ball, so Baltimore is more talented. They should be able to move the ball. Yes, but I don't know. I guess in my mind.
Wait, but that wasn't what I meant, though.
Okay.
I think Baltimore's more talented than the Chargers. I think the Chargers are maxing out what they can with their talent. Well, I think Baltimore just has more talent, particularly in offense versus offense.
Yeah, I could see that, but tell you the truth, to me that would be debatable also, because all right, quarterback, you give the check on Baltimore side, because you can't really. I'm not gonna dare say that Justin Herbert is better than Lamar Jackson. No, I'm not gonna say that. Running backs, okay, Derrick Henry, yeah, he's probably better than the two-headed running back that running by committee with the Chargers. Wide receiver wise, yeah, by name, but
I'd rather have Zay Flowers. I would put Zay Flowers first. DeAndre Johnson's in the void.
Yeah, he's definitely in the void.
But don't forget the Baltimore flexes, because they have Mark Andrews and Isaiah Likely.
Yeah, Will Dissly is moving on up.
Man,
yeah. Listen, I know I'm grasping at straws here, but still. I don't know. I mean, like I said, I get it. It's more like name brand versus great value. But tell you the truth, you got great value. Sometimes they surprise you. They surprise you. Sometimes that great value chicken patty tastes amazingly like Chick-fil-A.
I like Chick-fil-A better. No, I agree. And like I said, that this is really the type of team that Baltimore has been losing to. So it would almost make sense that they would lose again. I just don't see this team end up falling to 7-5.
Well, it looks like we're actually going head to head on this one in real resolute in our thought patterns. Yeah, this is going to be interesting to see how this is. You think you got the advantage because it's Movember? Shoot, wait until we get to the 12 days of Stephmas.
Yeah, I'll worry about that next month. Right now, the mustache says go Baltimore. Wait. No. We got to go. Mike Steph, take us home.
Okay. Yeah, this has been a wonderful edition of Hit Us in Football. I'd like to thank each and every one of y'all for making us the podcast y'all choose to view and the podcast y'all choose to listen to, football-wise and entertainment-wise and banter-wise. And just, please, we really appreciate y'all patronage. Please check out the fellow 19 Media members on the YouTube channel of the 19 Media Group, and all streaming platforms where podcasts are available. Due to time restraints, I cannot list each and every one of y'all, but y'all know who y'all are. And Mike Steph in Movember has love for you. I can't count up to 19. So, with all that being said, Hidden Gems Football has been a part of that. I know you're getting that chicken ready. I know you're getting that chicken ready. Yeah. I had to pump fake you. The 19 Media Group. Goodbye. See, I knew that.
This is a 19 Media Group presentation.
But yeah, I just have a feeling that we're gonna get either Rex Ryan Part 2, or a lot of people have been touting Aaron Glenn, defensive coordinator from the Detroit Lions and former JT at Jets cornerback. I remember when he was drafted. I think I was at the draft when they used to have it at the Marriott in Times Square. I go back. Sure, I went to that draft. I think I went to the one where they drafted Marvin Jones. Those are the days. They did a lot of rounds back then, because I know we would be there from like 12 o'clock in the afternoon to like 10 o'clock at night. Shoot, smuggling in heroes so we could eat.